are here basically is to celebrate National Infertility Week awareness program. Before we start, my in terms of explanation why we do it, can we just have the video for 2 minutes? So, Infertility Awareness Week, why we are celebrating this or why we would like to observe this week is primarily a very new concept to India and actually. First of all, ఎందుకు మాట్లాడాలి మనం ఇన్ఫర్టిలిటీ గురించి ఎందుకంటే in India today I think nobody speaks about infertility. దాదాపు almost 10 to 15% of Indian population is actually silently suffering with infertility issues. 1 out of every 6 couple is going through this infertility issues. 27.5 million couples in India are actually suffering with infertility. Infertility is definitely on the rise, but the main idea is, to speak to the media today, also create awareness. It is so important to speak about infertility, come out of the social taboo. It is no more a taboo. Even in rural places, we are seeing that, a lot of awareness is taking place. The whole objective is to create awareness about infertility. It's just not from Oasis Fertility perspective, but I think it is very important to understand the whole concept of infertility and why we should be talking more about it, why we should be taking immediate steps towards this is something which I wanted to share with you. There is a concept called total fertility rate and the total fertility rate ante prati couple ki the estimated people who give birth, a couple's ability to give a childbirth is about 40-50 years back. Now that total fertility rate has gone down to about Parinaaz ma'am, please. The total fertility rate has gone down to about 2.1 in the country, and specifically states like Telangana, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, the fertility rate has dropped to about 1.7. Fundamentally because of lifestyle issues, late marriages, people don't want to have kids immediately. So all these things are happening, and that's the reason why a lot of patients actually keep coming to our fertility center. The most important fact which we should try and understand is that, if this is not being taken care right now, there will be a state in the country where 30-40 years down the line we will be only staring at older population. There will be no young population in the country, which is totally detrimental to the economy of the country, right? If you don't have the right age group of about 25 to 35, which is the most productive age group in terms of economy, if that population is not there in the country, it is definitely going to impact our economy 30 to 40 years down the line. So the whole objective is to create awareness about infertility issues. Everybody has to talk about infertility issues. We want couples, we want patients to kind of, come out of the shell, come out of the social taboo, and then, reach out to fertility clinics as soon as possible. So Infertility Awareness Week US lo 1989 lo actually start అయిందండి. It's very new concept for India. The whole objective of doing this program is that Oasis Fertility is taking this initiative to kind of celebrate this National Infertility Awareness Week. We are hoping that years to come this will catch up in the country so that we create a lot of awareness. So this entire week we are celebrating National Infertility Awareness Week in terms of distributing a lot of brochures, lot of leaflets, lot of educational material to the patients, not only at our clinics, but we have tied up with about 3,000 doctors across the country, and through them, through the gynecologists across the country, we are trying to educate the patients to about this infertility. So I have with me Dr. Parinaaz, who is our consultant. She's our clinical head. She would speak more about this particular week.
Hello. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Sudhaker. So as Mr. Sudhaker was telling us, infertility is a leading problem which a lot of couples are facing with currently. And we at Oasis have always been at the forefront. We have been one of the leading people in this infertility treatment, where we have been providing the best treatment guidance as well as care to couples who are suffering with this particular problem. And as a part of the National Infertility Awareness Week, which is from 24th to 30th of this month, we have a lot of programs which are lined up, as Mr. Sudhaker was telling. And the main aim of all this is to continue to provide the latest treatment as well as the guidance, the right guidance to these couples. What we want to do is to break this whole taboo which is surrounding infertility, all the barriers which are there surrounding it. There's a lot of misconception. A lot of times only the female partner is blamed for the entire thing, and a lot of people are still ignorant about it. So what we really aim to do through all these activities which we have lined up as a part of this week is that we want to make patients, people in general, more aware of this problem. We want to encourage people to come forth. We want them to come and discuss their problems, to have an open conversation, to understand what is exactly that they're suffering from, and that we are always there to help them. So usually you see all these people silently suffering. They're not very open to come out and to talk about their problems. So through these activities, we're really looking at encouraging them. And we want them to be aware that they're not alone in this fight. We are there to guide them, we are there to support them. And with all the team and with the great knowledge and everything which we have in place, we are ready to guide them and to provide them the right treatment.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Andy. And any questions? Probably Mark Kande, iddarki Telugu sarika radu, but I'll be happy to answer questions in Telugu if possible.
The press invitation was mentioned that you will present a report it to the.
Yeah, so in fact, yeah, that's a very good question. And in fact, we have been, last 10 years, we have data with us in terms of the rise in infertility. So as Dr. Parinaaz was rightly saying that it is just not about urban issue. The fertility rates are actually going down. In fact, the fertility problem is actually going up in rural places as well. So we have seen that mean age of a rural lady, which was about 31, 32 earlier, 34, 35 earlier, has come down to about 30, 31 in last 12 years. That means there is a steady deterioration of the woman's condition at a rural place. It's just not an urban issue at all. It's also a problem of rural. The second important factor which we have understood and which we have studied over last 12 years is that due to pesticide issue, pesticide exposure in rural areas, there is a lot of male fertility issues which we have been seeing. So that's another second important finding of our study. The third important at an overall national level is that it is just not a woman's prerogative. 50% of the issue today is happening because of the male issue. That's the reason why we at Oasis Fertility also have male fertility clinics which we treat all the male fertility patients as well. And the fourth important phase which a lot of studies have pointed out, and we are also in sync with that data, 50 years back, the total fertility rate of this country was about 4. That means the ability of a couple to give a child was about 4. Today it has come down to 2.1 and it is steadily deteriorating, and it has come down to about 1.7, which is definitely detrimental for the future. So these are the basic broad level findings which we have been carrying out internally.
The forms of treatment and the cost and the hidden cost lekunda.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have been very, very transparent. So I'll tell you, it's not
hidden cost, because
exactly.
People usually complain that there are other things that come up, add-ons,
Absolutely.
which comes as a very rude surprise.
Right. No, I totally agree with you. So first of all, I think we should understand with due respects that we cannot be applying the same treatment to each and every couple. Each and every couple is very, very unique. Majority of the couples would fall under that, vanilla bracket where we can say clearly, transparently that about 1.5 to 1.75 the treatment will be done. But
For IUI or IUI?
for IVF funding. IUI is a very, very simple procedure. IUI cost about 5,000 to 8,000, not more than that. I think.
1.5 to
1.5 to 1.75 for a plain normal cases. I think that's our average in our system. Yes, there could be issues, different issues with the lady. The patients might require certain additional treatments like a hysteroscopy, a laparoscopy, or certain times there is something known as a pre-genetic study or pre-genetic screening. If those are required, then the cost actually keeps escalating, right? So sometimes the cost can even go to about, let's say about 2.5, 3 lakhs also. I'm not denying the fact, but it is, I think the whole point we should understand is that it is not one size fit for all. It is totally customized, Parinaaz ma'am?
Just to add on to what Mr. Sudhaker was saying, it's a very individualized treatment protocol. A lot of times people think that, okay, infertility is a very simple treatment. My so-and-so got treated, they just required, it just cost them about 10,000, 15,000. Someone needed a laparoscopy and they were treated. Someone needed IUI, they got treated. You have to understand that we are talking about human beings here. It's not software, it's not some computer or something. You have this maintenance charges or something. Every patient is different. Everyone, you have to look at them as a couple, and everyone's problem is going to be different. So we have different range of treatment options which are there, ranging from the simplest one where we just give them tablets and we do a monitoring. To some patients, just our simple words and simple guidance makes a lot of difference. For others, we need to go up to the most whatever is the latest in the market, like you have PGTA, PGTSR, ERA, we have everything there. So it depends on what is the patient suffering from, what exactly is their problem, which needs to be understood first. So for that, we have a very detailed consultation first for that, and based on that, then we have a tailor-made regime. So you can't say that, the treatment in general costs 1.5. The cost is interpreted as hidden because the patient comes with a misconception that, okay, it costed this much to so-and-so and it will cost the same to us. So yes, we tell them. Now what happens is that we try our best and we give the treatment to the patient. As we give the treatment to the patient, there are a lot of things that we realize that these are things which are working for the patient and these are possibly things which might not work. So based on that, a further treatment might be added, keeping the patient's best interest in mind. So that is how the fluctuation in the cost comes. At times patient comes to us saying that we have been advised IVF by so-and-so treatment center. Or they come to us saying that, my husband's sperm is very bad. Just give us donor sperm, we'll use that and we'll get pregnant. That's where our consultation comes in place. We tell them that no, we have these treatments which will help. You can get pregnant using your husband's sperm. Or you just need a simple treatment. There's no need for going for IVF. So it's the hidden cost thing. It's mainly because the patient comes with this fixed agenda that, it will cost approximately this much. But you have to understand that we have your best interest in heart. We want to help you out here. But based on how your treatment progresses, yes, it might fluctuate a bit. But yes, we do give a fair idea at the beginning of the treatment.
Any more questions?